My drawing literally improved from this to this in just 30 days. This is the worst advice I've seen many artists give. Drawing daily is good, but it's not about how much you practice, it's about how well you practice. Always remember, it is quality over quantity. Rather than copying and tracing drawings, think about the fundamentals. Like how will the figure look under the clothes? How can I turn the complex structure into simpler shapes? These small and subtle changes will really help you all in the long run. I'll give you genuine advice on how to practice drawing faces, because knowing how to practice is the key to improve your drawing. And to start practicing drawing, at first you'll need some basic proportions which will give you a path to start your journey. Drawing a skull is really easy. Just start with a rough circle, draw a vertical and horizontal line at the center which will show the angle of the skull. Our face is divided into 3 equal parts, from forehead to eyebrows, eyebrows to nose and nose to chin. Then draw 2 small circles on the horizontal line and a triangle just below it, which will help in placement of the features. And after adding the jawline, the skull is complete. The face is the complex part and the simplified version of it is the skull. Once we are done with warming up our drawing skulls, we are ready to dive into drawing faces. Always make sure to use basic guidelines and proportions to draw faces. People tend to waste a lot of time in drawing these guidelines and get frustrated in the end. So make sure your lines are not perfect. Yes, not perfect. There is no need to draw a proper round circle or a straight line. Even a wobbly line will do the job as long as the foundation is strong. Start with simple shapes to establish the overall structure of the face. I don't use those nowadays because I already have the knowledge of all the placement of the features of the face, which you will be able to do soon enough. Not gonna lie, but it's almost been a year since I last used a pencil. I'm not saying that pencil is bad, but it makes me want to make more unconfident lines and strokes. I used to draw tens, thousands of scratchy lines to make a single shape, whereas after using a pen or marker, I make a stroke after thinking twice and I use less lines as possible. Begin by practicing drawing faces from the front, side and 3x4 view. These are foundational angles and will help you understand how features change with perspective. Just start filling up your sketchbook with faces. Just start filling up your sketchbook. Draw ugly faces, draw self-portraits, draw ugly faces, draw girls, draw boys, draw some more girls. Anyways, my point is, rather than thinking for an hour what to draw and searching for the reference and just sleeping after that, just get out of your alaspan and start drawing. Yes, of course I use references. Using references is actually really good to get better at building memory. Choosing a correct reference is also really important. First of all, think of a pose or anything you want to draw, then search for a reference image. Try to use a reference from real world rather than taking cartoon or anime references. Because once you learn to draw realism, stylizing your art will come naturally. Don't put too much time drawing a single face. Try to draw several faces as quick as possible. Try to draw faces in all angles possible. Get out of your comfort zone. Most people have the habit of drawing the front view face again and again. Stop that. Don't draw what you already know how to. It's as simple as that. Copy the face from reference as much as possible and in next attempt try to draw it without using any reference. See if you are smart or just dumb. Don't spend more than 10 minutes on a single portrait. And I'm not saying to rush the drawing. Just get down the basic proportions and shape of the face rather than getting involved in small details. And on the next page, I was thinking to draw some more stylized faces. And usually it's kind of difficult for me to not stylize any drawing. And in the previous page, I tried my best to not stylize and draw realism. Anyways, on this page, I'll try to stylize as much as possible. You can see in this portrait, I have increased the size of the eyes to make it more cartoonish. And even though I didn't follow any proportions or change all the measurements of the face, the drawing still looks good. And why is that? Because I have enough knowledge on face anatomy and I have practiced it like 1,000 times that I am now capable of changing the features of the face according to my liking. I can literally increase the size of one's nose and still the drawing will look good. All that is possible because I did everything which I have mentioned in this video. Okay, it's been a long time, but I realize now that why have I not drawn any male faces yet? Huh? And you know what? It's fine. There are times when your sketchbook pages will look like shit and you just have to get through it to get to the good stuff, which is not shit. Now it's finally time to draw some anime characters. Anime faces are the peak point of stylization. But dude, I've seen a lot of people, I mean literally every beginner artist do this. They will directly start learning anime faces without learning any basics, without having some knowledge on realism faces. All I'm trying to say that once you get the hang of drawing these realistic faces, drawing anime or drawing stylized figures will come in naturally. And always remember that these practice studies should never be boring. Try to make it interesting and fun. If it's not fun, you won't be able to draw it for a long run. At the end, drawing shouldn't be a daunting task. You should have fun with it. And if you're not having any fun, then what's the point of even doing that?